My second show is wrapped up, and today it's time for a recap. What's going on? It's Pro Physique coach Ben Berluti here with my 19th weekly contest prep update. I just competed 2 days ago on Saturday, the 9th, at the OCB Tampa Natural Pro Amateur Show to wrap up my competitive season. A little bit of a bittersweet feeling when it's all over, okay? But hey, it is what it is. We did 2 shows this year, and it's time to go back into the off season. So what I'm going to do here today is quickly go over a recap of the competition, peak week competition, post show, and talk about plans going forward a little bit. And I'm going to continue to update you guys over the next few weeks with some further updates, okay, on, plans going into 2025 and all that sort of thing. Today, it's a little bit more of a brief overview and recap, okay? So, we competed 2.5 weeks ago on October 26th in Georgia, and while I was, very lean, shredded, posing was very good as well, though I was likely a little bit undersized, and there was room in my physique to kind of fill out more, okay? To stand out and place higher, So when I get feedback, by the way, from the judges, which I requested from that show and this show, I'm going to update you guys with what they said, okay? Because I'm all about putting it out there. I'm not going to sugarcoat anything. I'm not going to lie to you guys. I'm 100% honest with you guys on my channel, as you know. So I'm going to continue to be that way, okay? So anyway, Tyler and I were like, you know what, we've got room to continue to fill out the physique, so let's get you as full as possible. So, end of my dieting phase, I was down to 150 grams of carbs, weighing in about 137 on the scale, 138. We started bringing carbs up. Last show, we were up to about 260 per day. Fat still at 50 grams, so rather low, but carbs are up significantly. And I was down to the 135s, 139, 134.9 on October 26th, the last show. And we're like, you know what? Let's bring calories back up. I got even leaner, guys, okay? My last show, or this prior show, we got carbs all the way up to 345. I saw this much weight gain, okay? I got a little bit leaner just from the look of things. 135.1 was my show day weight, and I was much more filled out. I'll do a little side-by-side comparison of where I was at like the depths of my cut versus where I was about a day out from my show, and you can see the fullness in the physique. I could feel it when I was posing. It was like my back pose started to feel a little bit awkward at times because it was like there's more real estate there. There's more muscle fullness, muscles coming back. Because when calories are low, you're gonna be very flat, look very small. It feels different. And I can just feel my delts, my back, my chest just filling out more, which is good, right? So we go all the way up to 345 carb, gradually increasing those calories throughout the week. And then we relatively held fluid and sodium constant at 120 ounces of fluid each day. And then sodium at 2,050 milligrams with some slight increases when I increased carbohydrates from a carb source that had some sodium, like caramel rice cakes. Each one has 25 milligrams of sodium, so it was very slight increase. And then on show day, we kept fluid very high, okay? And we wanted to keep an eye on how the body's responding in terms of, is it easy to get a pump right now? Is our body taking in the nutrients, the fluid, the sodium, and utilizing it? So what I would do was, first thing in the morning, send some pictures of Tyler. He's like, okay, let's start sipping on some water, normal morning breakfast, right? Not doing anything drastic, right? And just keep sipping on water throughout the day. Let's add some extra sodium. Let's put a liquid IV in our water, right? So we start making these increases in sodium in water. And then after that, I would set in about 30 to 45 minutes. I'll do some pump work, some lateral raises, made a little makeshift gym in my place. Some folding chairs for some dipping bars and some 8-pound dumbbells for some, bicep and tricep work and some delt raises and that sort of thing. And the goal is to not do a intense workout. It's more to push yourself, get a good burn, and just kind of feel, okay, is the vascularity coming out? How's the fullness looking? And I'll do pictures right after that and send his way. And we did that back and forth for a few hours. I was competing at night, so we had all day, okay? So the day before, I had to get my base coat tan. And then the morning of, I had to get my second coat of tan. And after that, I was able to come back to my place. I was competing in Tampa in my backyard. I was just able to chill the rest of the day and prepare some things for the remainder of the day, which was mainly easy food sources. So I had my normal second meal at about 11:45 a.m., okay, which is chicken pasta, salad. Very typical. I had been having that same thing for over 4 months. And we just kept having more fluid, okay? I keep that relatively constant, but a little bit more, okay? By the time it was all said and done in competition day, I think it was up to 200 ounces of water, so it's a lot of fluid, okay? But again, it's helpful for bringing out the fullness, because if you stop drinking water, you stop eating carbs, you quote-unquote dry out, you're gonna be flat. The only way you can get away with this is if you are shredded to death, right? So it's like, okay, if you are a little flat, you're still going to look good, but you could have looked better. So we're trying to look better. We're trying to look our best, right? Because I was already shredded, and I was one of the most, if not the most shredded guy in that stage when it came down to it. So got to the venue. Show was running a little bit behind. It's the biggest OCB show in Florida, so we were predicting this. So what I did was, when hunger levels came up a little bit, we were like, okay, let's eat just a little bit. Let's have a Pop-Tart. Let's have a Rice Krispie bar. It's just like small amounts of food. It's not going to weigh me down. It's mainly just carbs and a little sodium. And keep drinking water. And they came out to get us. And we're like, okay, you got to go to the pump-up room now, or backstage, and it's time to rock and roll. So I did that. Brought my 8-pound dumbbells with me. Just did some lateral raises, that sort of thing. Waited my turn. And we all went out there in our lineup, okay? Really competitive lineup, stiff lineup, and I love that, okay? Because, everyone's at their best, so I want to do my best and see how we all line up, right? Did I place the way I wanted to? I did not, okay? I would have loved to place higher, but I gotta get better, okay? First group, I placed out of the top 5, and then the second group comparison I placed, so the first group, I believe there was 7. It's funny, backstage, I don't even really pay attention to everyone around me. I'm just in my zone. I'm concentrated. And when I'm out there, I'm not looking at the guys next to me. I'm very focused on my posing, that sort of thing, okay? For reviewing the pictures and videos later, my posing was very good. Conditioning was spot on. Backstage was a little cold, so I was like, okay, I don't know. I feel like I'm losing my pump. When I got on stage, you start posing. Posing is kind of tough. A little bit of a workout in a way. And then you can see the vascularity coming out, and I was still looking as full as I could. So, things were looking good there. Conditioning, posing was good. And by the way, second group, I got 4th out of 5 guys there. So, did get a trophy, so I'm happy with that. Would I like to place higher? Yeah, but hey, there's a guy, in one of the pictures I'm going to show you, I'm still waiting to get the professional shots back from the photographer, which I'm going to show in future videos, but for my friends and family that came, that took videos and pictures, the gentleman on the far left on the picture I'm going to show you, I believe he won that class. And you can see, he had a little bit more size than me, right? Bigger chest, bigger shoulders, right? So, when I'm getting ready for a show, the only thing I can control is my conditioning, my show day look, am I peaked, that sort of thing, and my posing. So we did the best we could of all that. So there's nothing more I could do, right? And after reviewing the videos, I liked the way I presented my physique, and I really love the individual routine. I put a lot of work into that, and just out there to have fun, It's a shame that we have to pose to house music, because when I practice, I have certain songs that I use, and that's more fitting for the routine, but it is what it is, okay? It's not judged individual routine, it's just a time to, as I like to put it, tell a story without words, okay? It's more of like, this was the work over the past year, the past 4.5 months that led to this point, and be happy about it, smile, right? And throw your own little personal flair on it. They should judge posing, they should have a best poser award, but I digress. I'm gonna write a letter to the OCP, I should, right? I'm kidding. So, anyway, that was it, and more importantly, I was so thankful that a lot of my family came. I could hear them cheering for me out in the audience. Paul Ravella, Stephen Bogrand, my colleagues here at Pro Physique, they came to the show. They were backstage with me. It was great. My heart was full after this, right? It was very, I was very thankful for that, and competing in my backyard here in Tampa, it made that the case. So, and it's the biggest, like I said, OCB show in Florida. So, the bigger shows, there's just certain atmosphere that's there that, as a competitor that you just love, So, hey, that is it for the wrap up. It was a great show. The day after, I got together with family for a celebration meal. We went to a burger restaurant, had a good burger and fries, enjoyed it. And it was a good way to wrap up the weekend. This morning, I went and trained and did my cardio. It's very important to stay disciplined. It's important for me to get back to the gym and keep doing it because it can be hard when your goal is reached to keep going. Sunday morning, I competed Saturday night. Sunday morning, I did 35 minutes of incline walking. Today, I did 30 minutes of the elliptical. I trained before that. It's a deload week for my training in the gym, so it was, a light workout. But I went and trained, and I did my cardio. The cardio was not a deload. It was full throttle like normal. 30 minutes elliptical, 3.14 miles in 30 minutes. And I was, tired after that, okay? It's just very important for me to just keep on keeping on. Deload week, I'm going to be fresh and ready to go. I'm going to hit it hard going into next week. And once I receive the judges' feedback, I'm going to start training as per the recommendations because it's like an annual review at work, right? Your employer says, you do this well, you need to improve on that. So I'm going to focus on whatever that is, right? So in the coming weeks, I'm going to go over, like I said, judges' feedback, that sort of thing, as well as reverse dieting strategies for myself because I'm not going to stay on low calories forever. We're going to go over how I go about, staying within striking distance and starting to add a little bit of weight slowly, put on some necessary body fat, and start lowering cardio because, while at first thought, it's a bummer when, your stage lanes, you kind of lose those lines, lose those cuts, lose those striations in your hamstrings. Look, the way you feel is very important. Overall sense of well-being is very, again, important. Hormones are not going to be optimized when you have no body fat. Having 3-4% body fat, you don't want to do that year-round, okay? You don't want to be there year-round. You want to be a functional human, and that's important for everyday life, being proficient in your career, being nice to others, right? Like, all that's very important. Not to mention, you can't improve if you don't add any weight back on, right? If I stay 135 pounds with no body fat for another year and do another show, I'm likely going to get the same result, right? So it's time to improve. So that's it, guys. I am so thankful for all of your support. This is a quick little recap today, and we'll talk soon. Bye now.